So continuing with the series, we're going to learn the first letter, the Aleph. This is actually one of the last letters that I learned because it's particularly difficult, so this is not a beginner letter. The way that you make the Aleph is to make this half parentheses that starts above the line, but this time it's tilted. So let me show you what I mean. Before, or for a different letter, for example the bays, I make that straight. This part is straight. With the Aleph I start at this angle. So let me show that again. I come here and I make this half parentheses at an angle, just like that. And then I'm going to come over and pull down. And so to stress this a little bit, you want it to be over a little bit and down. So you're pulling like that in this direction. So let me start that again. You make this half parentheses at a little bit of an angle and then pull it a little to the right and then immediately down. The next step would be to add this little up part over here. So you pull it down and then you add this little pointy stick. This little stick in the bottom. And this is the one. And let me take a second to actually draw a full Aleph so that it's clear what we're going for. So at the beginning I'm going to make that half line, come down, come here, and then finish up like that. And that's the letter Aleph. So I'm going to continue. A little bit out of order. So we have this slanted moon, we pull it down, then we come up. The next step is to make a leg over here and to bring it straight down. And you want it ideally to match up with the end of this. So you want that to be straight. So in other words, this would go all the way till here, and this line would be a straight down from it. So let's do another one. Come up. We're going to make this line, and then I smudge this completely. So the next step is to bring this over just a little bit, and after that we're going to come downwards, make this downwards deflection. And I apologize for this mess over here. Referring to this little guy. Let me cover it up. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So I'll continue here and I'll go on a slanted angle. I'll come down, I'll bring this up. I'll bring out the leg, I'll come and I'll pull it down just like that. The next step would be to make a little bit of an arrow up here. Just like that. Then, start from the top, come here, go up, make a leg, bring it down. Then I'm going to pull in parallel with this line. So in parallel, I'm going to pull back. So these two lines, this one over here and this one, are parallel. You know? Like that. So we come back, we do this, and then of course the last step is to just bring that down and connect it around the middle. Now, a couple of things to note. I'm going to zoom in so we can see these things I want to point out. With an Aleph, ideally, a good Aleph would have certain things. So let me draw one here. Okay, so a couple of things to note about this. On the top, there are two pointing parts that are pointing upwards, and you want them to be like this. Nice, just like that. They're both pointing in the same direction. I'll point it out on here. You can see it too. This is coming up and this is coming up. That's how you want it. So over here you can see it too. This little guy straight up, this guy straight up. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind, of course, is to keep these two lines parallel. And I guess the last thing to keep in mind would be to make sure that this corner over here and this corner are on the same line. Hope that wasn't confusing. If you have any questions, let me know, and let's go on to the next.